Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a minute since I filmed anything. I had grand plans for the summer and then August hit and I got in the biggest reading slump I've been in all year. It was terrible. We went on a beach vacation and I had saved several books for this vacation, all about like oceans or summery vibes, beach vibes, mermaids, all sorts of different things that I had saved, and I was going to do a beach vlog, and I have tons of b-roll from our vacation, which our vacation was a blast, but I DNF'd probably 4 of the books that I brought along and maybe finished 2 of them, and the 2 I finished were mediocre at best, and it just put me in a reading slump for the rest of the month. So I don't know. I just did not read very much in August, and what I did read I did not like, but I am going to do a wrap up of August and September together. But in this video, I want to talk about all the books that I want to read in October. So let's get right into it. So the first book I want to read in October is a nonfiction. At the beginning of the year, I chose 12 nonfiction books from my shelf that I wanted to read because I wanted to read more nonfiction. Normally when I read nonfiction, it's more self-help kind of, and I just wanted to branch out a little bit. So the one I chose for October is Aquanaut, the inside story of the Thai cave rescue by Rick Stanton. And he is actually the diver, one of the 2 divers that went down and found the soccer team on this mission. And I believe it's just about his life, how he got into cave diving and all of that. And I'm really excited to read this because I read several years ago a middle grade called All 13 about this particular event, and it was so good. And so I'm really excited to hear his perspective of the event and just his backstory a little bit as well. Okay, the next book I want to get to is for Chantel from Chantel Reads All Day's Read Your Bookshelf Challenge, and the prompt for October was a nonfiction, which if I'd planned better, I probably just would have read Aquanaut for both of the things, but I didn't, which is fine. But I picked up off of my shelf Magical Journey, An Apprenticeship in Contentment by Katrina Kennison. And she has another book that I read when I was a new mom, Mitten Strings from God, I think is the title. And I really enjoyed it, but I don't remember a lot about it. But this is about her son going off to college. And so it's kind of the period of motherhood that I'm in. I've got 2 juniors right now, and I feel like this will just speak to me in this time of gearing up for transition. So this is the book I chose for the Read Your Bookshelf Challenge. I'm also trying to read 2 classics a month this year, and I have to say I have been loving that. I have really enjoyed the classics that I've picked, and so October is Victober, and so I wanted to pick 2 classics from the Victorian period. So the first one I went with is The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells, and I don't think I've read, oh wait, yes I have. I've read The Island of Dr. Moreau, and I really liked it. It was really good. I read that several years ago. So I'm excited to read this. I feel like, wasn't this like a broadcast, like a radio drama, and people actually thought that was true? Maybe I just made that up in my brain, but I feel like that's, I don't know, I feel like that was true. Maybe not, but it's basically like an invading army of aliens come to Earth and panic ensues. So I'm excited to read this because I feel like it's not necessarily what you would think of when you think of a Victorian novel. Okay, so the next book I picked up for Victober is North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell, and I have never read anything by her, so I'm excited to do that. I've heard really good things about North and South. I have to say though, this is the tiny, like this is my hand, okay? This is the tiniest book that I have ever seen, and it's like, the writing is very small. I don't know. I may have to see if I can find another copy. I'm not sure how pleasant of a reading experience this will be for me, but anyway, it's, I don't know much about it. I think it's like a romance, maybe 2 different classes fall in love. I have no idea, okay? I like to go into my books fairly blindly, and that kind of is one reason I don't often do a TBR video because I don't know much about the books that I want to read. But anyway, so this is also one of the ones that I'm going to get to in October. The next book is also from the Victorian era, and it is The Trumpet Major by Thomas Hardy. I recently joined Tiffany from Beautiful Minutia's Patreon because I'm friends with her in real life, and I just felt the need to support her. And so I would encourage you, if you watch Tiffany's videos, to join her Patreon. It's a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed my time over there. And anyway, so they're doing a group read of The Trumpet Major by Thomas Hardy. I think this is more of a historical, like a historical fiction, more so than like a tragedy, which is nice because all of the Thomas Hardy books I've read have been fairly tragic and fairly dramatic, but I've really enjoyed them, except maybe The Return of the Native. I mean, I enjoyed the story, but the characters, they were something else. But anyway, so I'm excited to get to this one as well. The next book I'm also reading with Tiffany because she's doing a read-along of the Mistborn series. So this is the third book in Mistborn Era 2, The Bands of Mourning, and I am excited to reread this. I've really enjoyed Era 2 so much more the second time around. It's been a lot of fun, and it's just a little bit of a change of pace from Mistborn and from some of the other fantasy I've read this year. It's just kind of fun and silly, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm excited to pick up the third book as well. So for our in-person book club, we chose an Agatha Christie, and they chose A Murder Is Announced because this is one that nobody had read before. And so we were excited to find a mystery that, you know, nobody knew what was going to happen. And so it's going to be my first Miss Marple. I've read quite a few Agatha Christie, but I've never read any of her Miss Marple books. And again, I don't know much about this, but I'm excited to read my first Miss Marple. And the last book that I'm going to talk about, there are a few other books that are like potentially I want to read. There are a few short stories in the Arcanum Unbound by Brandon Sanderson that go in between some Mistborn books that I want to read. And I may read, what is it, Starflight, Skyflight, something. The novellas that are supposed to be in between the Starsight and Cytonic books in the Skyward series by Brandon Sanderson. I may try to get to both of those this month, but if not, I'm not worried about it. So anyway, the last book that I want to read in October is The October Country. I have only read, I've read 3 books now by Ray Bradbury. I despised Something Wicked This Way Comes. No, I didn't despise it. The writing took me by surprise, and I feel like I didn't give it justice. I feel like I need to reread it, and I feel like if I reread it, I would really like it. I absolutely loved Dandelion Wine. So good. One of my favorite books I read this summer for sure. And I just read Fahrenheit 451 in September, and I loved that one as well. So I'm really excited to get to The October Country. This is just a group of short stories. Gosh, there's a lot of short stories in here. There are like almost 20 maybe? I don't know. Close to 20 short stories in here. So I'll just sprinkle these in throughout the rest of the books that I read this month. But I'm excited to read more Ray Bradbury. Tiffany has told me that she thinks I'll love his short stories because I think she's read several from the Martian Chronicles that she's really liked. So I'm excited to read this. And I'm pretty sure that I'll read this with Tiffany because I got this for her birthday because we both wanted to read it in October. So I'd like to read it with her and share our thoughts, but we'll see. I mean, I know she's busy. She's got a lot of buddy reads, so we'll see. But anyway, so that's it. Those are all of the books that I hope to get to in October. Plus, I've got a never-ending stack of books that I would like to read as well. I'm currently reading book 2 of the Farseer trilogy, so I'd like to get to book 3 in October. But I mean, this is quite a hefty stack, so we'll see. But I'm excited to be filming again. Thanks for putting up with me and being patient in between videos, and I will try to do better on getting videos out in a timely manner. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.